Hello and welcome. We're coming to you from the sidelines of Hindustan Times Leadership Summit 2025. And on the sidelines, I'll be talking to some of the brands which have made this event possible, which celebrates the over 100-year-long legacy of Hindustan Times and, of course, the journalistic excellence. And to start, I'm joined by Manish Sharma, President, Arena India, part of Havas Media Network. Manish, thank you so much for taking out the time and talking to us. Let's just start right there. Let's talk about leadership, because this is, of course, the Leadership Summit. What does leadership mean to you?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for inviting me. Thanks to ST. When you talk about leadership, it is all about setting an example. It is not telling what people to do about it. It is walking with them, doing with them, asking them to take the lead. That's leadership for me. I can only be successful if my team is successful. So my success is entirely dependent on my team's success. So the people, those who matter the most for me is my team. As for me, leadership is staying behind them, ensuring them that they have the cushion of me whenever they fall, if at all they fall. I have full trust on them. I know they will not fall. It's sort of a style which I have learned over the years. My seniors my management have always given me that independence, the freedom to really, that has instilled purpose in me. If I can instill the same purpose in the team, my half job is done. It is giving them the comfort and the know-how of what it takes for them to succeed. That's leadership for me. And that can only happen when it's a free environment, wherein they are master of their own being. I run a company, Arena, which is part of Havas Media, and the reason why we have been able to do what we are supposed to do is because everyone has their stake in it, be it the smallest executive or the senior most person in my team. Everyone knows what they are supposed to know. Not everyone is responsible for the P&L in our parlance, but everyone contributes to that P&L. I think that's the nature, and we walk the talk. I mean, there is no point sitting in your cabin and, meeting your team once in blue moon. I think if you can have lunch together, if you can have meeting together, if you can have fun together, I think that's leadership for me. I think that's how I take leadership ahead.
Good to hear that. You've been lucky in your career, in other words, and to have, excellent bosses who instilled those values in you. And now I'm sure your subordinates are lucky to have you as their leader. Let's quickly talk about the theme of this year's summit, which is, of course, Transforming Tomorrow. So from the industry's perspective, there's a lot which is happening, of course, with the digital, TV, print. There's so much to manage. So in that context, what does Transforming Tomorrow mean for you?
The biggest transformation that has happened and is happening, it is happening, I would say. It's not happened yet. It's the brands are becoming more purposeful. We at Havas, we talk a lot about being meaningful. How the brands are getting more meaningful is something that is the biggest transformation that is happening. And that is happening through the change from a medium perspective, like digital is coming a big way. People are talking about AI across. Everyone is talking about AI. I will not be averse of it, because at Havas, we really are, so to say, committed towards AI, I would say. But the AI has its own, things to really be taken care of. It can never be a replacement. It is always a refinement. So the purpose should remain the core. How do you make brand more meaningful? By giving more values to the consumer for which we as a brand custodians work for. It is important that, making use of AI for more personalization is correct. And that's where you will see a brand growing 3x or 5x. But that cannot be a replacement. Human is at the helm of, they are the epicenter of everything that we do.
Right.
AI has only given them the tool or the wings to really hone their skills. Ultimately, an idea can come only here in the brain. AI is nothing but a machine learning. What a human thing, AI shows it to them. So that's one change. The other change is also the way people have started looking media. It is no longer a single window media. can never go and say, I only read newspaper or I only watch television. It's a journey that is happening. Gone those days of single TV household, which, people don't even understand, whether it's connected TV, linear TV, and so on and so forth. They just watch screen. You might be happy watching your content through mobile phone. My father must be watching content through television. Newspaper is something that is still ingrained in my thought process. So how do we really integrate everything into one thread and go back to the brands and talk about that? That's what it is. Another thing which is coming up is in the consumer decision journey, discovery, purchase are the stages. But what is happening now is your discovery and purchase are now collapsing into one single unit. It is the brand who communicate to the audience at the moment of their decision are the brand who will win. It is not a linear equation anymore. There will be a discovery, there will be purchase. You are there out in the market. There is no discovery before as planned, but that point in time, the discovery and purchase can happen instantly. So those are the nuances that as a marketer, we need to really hold on to. And everything boils down to being meaningful. You cannot be frivolous. You cannot be on the face and win the battle. Because audience today is becoming far more intelligent than the brands are. Because brand custodian, 4, 5, 6 audience are flooded with people around. So that's where we need to grow.
Right. Interesting. You touched upon AI, and of course, AI is touching every single industry and transforming it. But interesting, you said that you don't see AI as replacement of humans. You see AI as an enabling force which can help good people get better, average people get good, and perhaps those who consider at this point in time, because of lack of experience, perhaps below average, get average, and then keep breaking those thresholds and become better with each passing day. Correct?
Absolutely. Because if you ask anyone around you, you ask what are the 3 key brands that you remember and their taglines. Trust me, none of those taglines have come out of AI. It is all human mind.
Right.
What has come out of AI, how do you use that tagline into a great campaign? How do you really disseminate? Look visually great. People used to lack communication. Communication has always been a challenge. And especially in Indian parlance, wherein people come from small towns, they've made it big because of their ideas in their mind, because of their strength in terms of what they want to do. One thing they lacked was how to communicate. I think AI has bridged that gap. I have an idea, but I don't know how to communicate. That's where AI needs to be utilized. Rather than if Manish doesn't know how to work, I can replace 10 Manish and have 1 Manish. No, it will not help. It will never help. If that being the case, I would never be a leader in my own domain. Because then I will only go toward cost optimization and not authenticity, not being ethically correct. So that's AI has its own merit. Absolutely important to imbibe AI, but it's absolutely not right to make AI the whole and soul of everything around you in the garb of cost cutting, in the garb of cost optimization. So cost optimization is important, but being ethical, being morally right, being authentic is where we should be moving towards it.
Right.
We in today's new age marketer cannot do without AI. AI is what is AI? AI is all about your response that you get. Today in the days of D2C brands, new age brands, e-com brands, everyone has to have that AI model working because you cannot have that kind of workforce who can do everything. But what is making them work at the back is the humans, that should always be at the helm of the things.
That is great to hear. To hear. And my last question to you, of course, you have attended some sessions by now. What's your experience of the summit has been?
No, this is.
And what do you think about the lineup?
The
fabulous lineup, right?
Lineup is great. Can't get better than this. What else you need? You have the head of finance, head of
finance minister, minister of external affairs, prime minister, and of course industry leaders
and Chief Justice of India.
Yes.
So that's what makes this summit a place to really come, attend, and understand what India is talking about, India is going towards. I think that's future tomorrow is something that you guys are really bringing it well, and because these are the policy maker, decision maker who will. So it's like you are hearing it from them rather than hearing it from someone else.
Yeah.
And bringing all of them together in one place, it's a mammoth task, trust me. And when putting around Golling Modi here,
Absolutely.
it's absolutely a big feat. I mean, kudos to the team here who has really done it. And I think it's a successful event every year. I mean, personally, I look forward to it.
Right.
I look forward to, attending such events, because this really opens up your eyes. I might have my own thought processes, but, coming and listening to them, talking to them, understanding them, one very nice thing Mr. Suryakant just spoke about RCGI, about mediation.
Yep.
Now mediation is something that is a great tool to really bring down the legal disputes and settle it without getting into the court and
getting caught in that lengthy process.
Now, this is a very small thing. If I really use this to my office perspective also, it is a great tool. There are office, differences among peers, among colleagues, that mediation as a word stands out. So I think this is all because of the fact that I was sitting inside the room and hearing him.
Yeah.
I think that really helps.
Yeah, good to know that you're walking away with some insights which you can use in your daily life. Having said that, on the way out, you should check out the photography exhibition, My Country, My Lens. 100 pictures there. Of course, I've selected from 10,000 approved entries.
Yeah.
And 12 of those 100, 3 from each category, 4 categories in total, will be announced as the winners and will be felicitated by the Prime Minister. So do check that out on the way. And of course, great glasses, fabulous glasses. Pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, mate.